Very good morning. Welcome to the class of Universal Human Values, Understanding Harmony. So, the course objective, the students who learn these universal human values will be made to develop a holistic perspective based on self-exploration about themselves, about their family, society, and natural existence. And students who learn these universal human values will be able to understand what is harmony in human being, what is harmony in family, what is harmony in society, and its natural existence. It strengthens or self reflects the character of every individual human being, and these universal human values will make the student to develop their commitment and courage to act on the right things. So, Unit 1 is what we're going to discuss. Unit 1 is course introduction, the need for learning the universal human values, basic guidelines, its content and process for value education. So first let us discuss about the self-exploration as the process for value education. Self-exploration. What is a self-exploration? Why is there a need for self-exploration of every human being in the planet? Self-exploration is process of seeing the truth about a reality on our own right by our own investigation, observation, and analysis. So here we do the assessments based on our own right, our own thoughts, our own beliefs, and the natural acceptance of every individual human being. So, say for example, if some important decision that has to be made, or the act of some important thing that has to be done in your family, every individual human being will have their natural acceptance as a thought. So, they will keep assessing their decisions based on their level of natural acceptance. Say whether they have to decide that particular thing or particular act is valuable or not valuable. So they can do this assessment of whether it is valuable or not valuable based on the natural acceptance which was given as the own right of every individual human being. So every individual human being will do an analysis about their themselves based on their own right and their own investigation that happens. Say if it may be of anything, as I told you, it may be a decision that has to be taken for the family, or it has to be the decision that has to be taken for any individual. They have to act upon the natural acceptance thing. So if the proposal is naturally acceptable for that human being, then he may consider that it is right for him or her. If it is not naturally acceptable, then it is not right for him or her. Say we can ask a question whether the situation is given, and they may ask you like whether it is naturally acceptable to you or not. So here, to be in relationship with your family members, whether it is naturally acceptable or not, if this question is asked, every individual human being will give an answer as yes. In case if someone is asking you whether the self-exploration, that is I mean like the question is like whether you wanted to be in opposition with your family members. Now, they may give you the answer no. They always wanted to be in relationship with the family. Am I right? So that comes based on the natural acceptance of every individual human beings. But the thing is, it is not necessarily to be yes for to be in relationship with the family members for everyone. Everyone may have their own, situation. They have their own beliefs, own investigation, observation of everything. Based on that, they will make a decision which can be naturally acceptable for them, which will lead a happiness for that particular individual human. So self-exploration is a dialogue. Okay, it's a process of dialogue. So the dialogue is between like what I am and what is naturally acceptable to me. What I am and what is naturally acceptable to me. And it has basically two parts. One is a desire, the other one is program. Desire is what is our basic aspiration, and program is what is the way to fulfill this basic aspiration. Say here you can see the chart where the proposal was given. To check the proposal on based on your natural acceptance, you come into a result. If it is naturally acceptable by you, it is right, or else it is wrong. Am I right? So this kind of a behavior with human, okay, will lead to a mutual happiness. Say the decision has to be made in accordance with the human being, who may be your friend, brother, sister, family member, or your colleague, anyone it may be, right? So if it been the behavior leads with the human, then it leads to a mutual happiness between the human relationship, in the human relationship. But when this self exploration part where the given proposal was related with the rest of nature, then it leads to mutual prosperity. So you have to be very important that always we need to have our self exploration to keep right understanding of it. So the first part of self exploration is to verify the proposal on basis of our natural acceptance. We have to check whether it is naturally acceptable by us or not. Okay, so any question it may be, the question has to be taken by yourself, and you have to check your natural acceptance level whether that particular question satisfies your mind or not. Okay, the second part of the self exploration comes where it is called as experiential validation. It means according to the proposal which was given, you have to live your life. That is what is called as experiential validation. So when you wanted to live with the proposal with another human being, then it will have to lead with mutual happiness or not. You have to check with this process. Say for example, if you are getting committed in your life with a life partner, you have to check with your experiential validation. That means you have to check with your proposal with that human being, and if you feel that it is more comfortable to live with them, it may lead to a mutual happiness. If not, it may lead not a mutual happiness for that particular couples, right? So in this way, when any of this proposal is related with the human, you have to check whether it lead to a mutual happiness or not. In case if the proposal leads you to the rest of nature with the physical facilities or any other means of rest of nature, then you have to check whether it will lead you to a mutual prosperity or not. Okay, so now come to the exercise part where you can ask this question: what is naturally acceptable to you? Whether you wanted to be happy or unhappy. So everyone will say the answer as I wanted to be happy. So where does this answer comes from? This answer comes from your likes, dislikes, assumptions, preconditionings, beliefs, worldview, and perspectives. Right? Also, it comes from your natural acceptance in depth of every individual human being. Right? So the question was like this: is happiness naturally acceptable or unhappiness naturally acceptable? Happiness is naturally acceptable, am I right? So is it naturally acceptable to live in relationship or in opposition? Always we would like to live in relationship. What is naturally acceptable to you? To nurture your body or to spoil your body? To nurture your body is the answer, right? So all of this comes into the natural acceptance. Look at the picture. You can see you have a wheat roti, you have a fried rice. So you know which one is healthy and good for your body, right? And which one is going to create a harm to your body. But when I ask this question, you have to make a decision based on natural acceptance. Some people may be there who may make a decision based on the desires. That means likes and dislikes they have. So in that situation, you know, if that question was asked to some people who actually answers based on their desires, they will give an answer like fried rice. They know fried rice is going to harm the health. Alright. So where roti will be at least a healthy food that nourishes the body, where fried rice is going to be an unhealthy food which spoils the body. But still they may make a decision of eating the fried rice because they actually make a decision, or they actually feel that it is naturally acceptable to them based on the desires, or based on the assumptions, or based on the preconditionings that they have in their mind, in the state of mind. So always I suggest, and this universal human values actually suggest that every individual human being has to take a decision based on their natural acceptance, where it only leads to nourishment of your body health and happiness in your life. So, for understanding the natural acceptance, the very basic thing is right understanding. You need a right understanding to know what is right or what is good or what is wrong or what is bad. Right? So remember, whenever you make a decision based on your natural acceptance, it does not change with time. It does not change with place. It does not change from individual to individual. It is uncorrupted by likes and dislikes. Natural acceptance is innate and we don't need to create it. Natural acceptance is definite. So, in universal human values, the very first thing that every individual human being needs to understand is the natural acceptance. Every individual being has to take any decision that is based on their life or with any other human being or with the rest of nature based on the natural acceptance to check whether it brings happiness to his life or not. The naturally acceptable thing that in our life is to bring happiness, so to bring the nourishment of the body, so that thing is what we actually lead with. Thank you.